Okay, so I will build my Izzet deck in this video, and I'll play. I'm sure I will play Water Grave in this deck, and we'll have at least one land with which I could cast Dispersal, but Discovery is a really nice fail case. Even standard Izzet decks when Guilds of Ravnica was legal. Uh, mm, the decks with Arclight Phoenix played Discovery, Dispersal, and cast almost always the first half. But they played. I saw them playing one black mana source. I saw such lists that played, for example, Water Grave or some other dual land helping them cast Dispersal, and they left themselves an option to do that. So I will do a similar thing. Still, I have to command the storm, so I have two removals for 5 mana, and this is quite similar. It's a weird card. It's most of the time it's a worse version of Recoil. That was a spell for 3 mana, 1 blue, 1 black, and 1 generic that did similar thing but targeted. So here sometimes this will miss because they will have to return to their hand the most expensive permanent, and that's not always the one you're wanting. We would want to for them to return, or would target if you had recoil. But sometimes this will get rid of this hexproof creature, the big hexproof dummy that Celestia has or Green has with Convoke. So this can be at some rare board states. This can be actually better than Recoil. Still, I'm not sure if I want to play this Dimir Guildgate just for this one card that I could just cast for 2 mana, 1 blue, and be happy with it. So I don't know if it's worth playing a top land. Probably not. Probably I will cut Guildgate and leave only Water Grave here. Also, Dimir Guildgate helps me with this Sentry being 3/3 more offense, so that's some other reason. But I think I will cut this white splash. So I don't want to play a Pack Beast. Giant is actually better, but I don't think I want to play Forest Locket to enable it, and I really don't really love these lockets. I will probably cut Izzet Locket as well. And again, this playing Locket just for this Sentry also doesn't make sense, or some off-color basic lands, certainly not, especially if I'm playing cards like Crackling Drake or with Dragonauts that have 2 colored mana in 3 cost, even Piston Fist Cyclops to some degree, and some Guild Mage. I will probably cut this mage, but Guild Mage is similar. So probably cut this. So if I have this 1 black card, this Dispersal, I can cast from time to time, but also a Chamber Sentry, I think I'm leaning towards leaving this one Guildgate along with Watergrave, but that's it. So, and this can be nice against some decks playing many one toughness creatures, but actually with City Watch Sphinx and some 5 mana spells, I'm pretty happy with my high end, and I don't want my deck to be too clunky, so and I don't want to play this. I think I will kill them somehow with things that actually affect the board. I don't want to play this card. It may be nice for as a fodder for discarding for jumpstart. So if I replay direct current or something, and still get some value because I have some finishing spell in my graveyard, but even with some jumpstart cards I don't think it's worth it. Still, I will have a dead card from time to time, and this format is fast enough that I don't think I can afford that. So what do I want to do here? I don't think I will play this altitude. Maybe I can leave one copy for now, but probably will cut it. And invert invent is also suspicious to me because this clause of not affecting a board for 6 mana to gain some values, get some 2 for 1 and find what I need. It sounds neat, but in such a fast format, it's not a great plan. And the first half is really underwhelming, making it the worst of the cycle, I think. This split and commons. So you can win a game from time to time with it, or win some combats, but it's very situational. Also, you can kill opposing electrostatic fields and some other 0 power creatures, so that's nice. Maybe you can even kill 2 of them just for 1 mana, and then you feel you're really breaking things. But that's also very, very situational, that they got 2 0 power creatures, and still they may be not the ones worth killing. So even getting 2 for 1 isn't that great in such situations often. So I think I will cut it as well, and I will cut this mage probably. So what are the cards I would want to copy? Maximize altitude, that I think I will cut from this deck anyway, and so I'm not some Izzet deck playing sure strikes and cards like this. Maybe such a deck exists, but I'm not one of them. I think I will cut both of these cards. So I have 9 instant and sorceries, and maybe that's what Izzet should be playing. So let's check them. If I don't want to cut too many if I'm playing electrostatic field, and still I want to be an Izzet deck. So I don't want to play bad ones. I don't look to bring back those I cut, but I have to watch out now to not cut too many. So these are all playable. These 3. This is nice. These are very good. and these are good enough. I can think about if I want to play 2 copies, but I think I do. Especially since Izzet wants to play some spells and wake this Piston Fist Cyclops from time to time, pump wee Dragonauts, and deal damage with electrostatic field. So and even pump this Fire Urchin, but that's not that important. So this is more problematic, copying 5 mana spells with this, so 11 mana total, but still it's not bad. Capture Sphere is in a weird spot because I think I don't want to cut it, but there's a problem in Izzet that you really want your your removal to be instant or sorcery for many reasons, and I got many such reasons in my deck. Also, Crackling Drake benefits from instant and sorceries in graveyard and in exile, so the ones I jump started as well. Okay, let's start cutting creatures because I want to keep all instant and sorceries, and I have 10 non-creatures, so the last is this Aura Capture Sphere. So I would want to play 13 creatures, 8 to cut. Probably, maybe I will cut one of my instant or sorceries, or maybe this Capture Sphere, but I don't look to do it. So, and maybe I will cut one land, but that's also unlikely. I have Surveil for card selection, Radical Ideas, so I will dig to my creatures so I can keep the best of them. So Field, Urchin, Ordinary Goblin, Steamkin, Guildmage, 5 2-drops that are better than these Mesmerists. Fire Urchin maybe is more controversial, but a lot of creatures have these 2/1 stats, as you can see even among the cards I picked, and in white and in red, so especially with aggressive decks, this Fire Urchin lines up quite well against them, and even in blue these Mesmerists are playable, but I will cut at least one, probably the second as well, but let's wait with that. And do I need a finisher like Leapfrog? I don't think so. I want my 3-drops to be... Okay, so how this happened? I have one Aura and probably a card that is an instant and sorcery at the same time. Yes, so probably this. Okay, so this is counted twice here. So I have 8 cards that are instant and or sorceries and Aura. So I will have 14 creatures in my deck. 6 to cut. So Leapfrog isn't a great blocker, and I have other cards to finish off my opponent, so I prefer to keep a good blocker and other good blockers and other good blockers that are also finishers. So 5 3-drops sounds good. Muse Drakes, I think 2 are nice. Rubble-Built Boar, I can cut one or maybe both of them. And this high-end,
Still, okay, so I want to cut this for sure because this also is a second drop most of the time. Sometimes I will have my black mana source and I will wait until turn 3 to cast it, but sometimes I will just use it as a tempo play for 2 mana, so I could cut this City Watch Sphinx. I'm not sure I want to play it. I want my deck to be quite cheap, and I have other finishers that are just benefiting from my synergies and are good finishers thanks to that, despite them being cheaper, and this is just expensive. So I think Dimir is better at surviving and can cast such expensive finishers in my deck. Maybe we'll have problems affording it. So one more card to cut. I think I want to play 17 lands in this deck. And I have more red cards than blue, so this thinking should be nice. And so Ornery Goblin is probably my worst, or Fire Argent. One of these is probably my worst 2-drop. And I can cut one more 2-drop, and one Muse Drake could go. So Muse Drake or one of the 2-drops, I think. So Cyclops could also go, but they really help survive. Maybe better than Muse Drake. Muse Drake, it's neat that it draws a card, but I'll have 2 flyers that draw a card anyway, and this can be underwhelming against Boros because you don't get to cast your card anyway, and it's not a good. And these stats aren't good for a 4-drop, so this doesn't affect the board well enough. Or I could cut one Command the Storm, but I think I'll be I'll have a maybe good enough defense to for earlier stuff to dig through my deck and get 5 lands, and then I will need removal to kill them. Also, I think I want to keep my 8 cards that are instants and or sorceries. So I think Command the Storm stays. Maybe I could cut 1 land and 2 copies of Radical Idea could be enough to dig through my deck, and also Discovery. But the deck that plays so many draws really needs its lands. It can double spell, play Radical Idea, and then play the card that was drawn, or play something and leave 2 mana to play Radical Idea at the end of the turn. So I think 17 lands are about a good number here. Maybe a 2-drop, maybe this Muse Drake is. I have only 3 4-drop creatures and 1 4-drop spell. That's not a lot. And I have many 2-drops and many spells for 2 mana. So the worst 2-drop could go. Which is it? Fire Urchin or Ornery Goblin? So I have these cards that are slightly more expensive but have these similar stats, that higher toughness and 1 power against these 2/1 creatures like Demir Informant and these Muse Drakes and we Dragonauts. Ordinary Goblin is actually good against many 1 toughness creatures, even 3 ones, because this just deals 1 damage and doesn't exchange even with 3/1 creatures. So I think I will leave it like that. So now that I got a 2-drop, I need 17 lands, even more. I have the same number of blue and red cards. No significant differences in cost. Which would mean, so here is double red into cards that can be replayed, so that's some reason to play more red mana sources. And this dispersal is a slight reason to play more blue mana sources, because my black mana sources are also blue, so if I use them for black, I need some blue mana source, but this costs 5 mana. If I have black, one of my black mana sources, I should have blue in most situations as well, so I think direct current is the main reason to change the balance, but I have exactly the number that gives me equal number of blue and red mana sources. That's how these dual lands correspond to the number of lands I will be playing. So I won't change it. I think I don't want to play it like this. So this would mean 7 lands giving only blue of my main colors, and 9 red and 1 dual with my main colors, and this way I will have 9 red and 9 blue mana sources, and that's both right. Also, Crackling Drake is some reason to have blue and red mana sources equally distributed. Okay, thanks for watching. The deck is ready. I will start playing my games soon, so be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out the playlist in the description of this video, where you can watch all the videos of this draft. So the first was drafting, this is the second, deck building, and the rest will be games. Thanks, and see you.